it's Hannah and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be an October reading wrap up and I'm very excited for this one. We have a lot of genres and a lot of really good books that I read this month. So I'm gonna switch it up today and talk about the two books that I read on my phone first so that we can just get those out of the way. And those are in the same series. The first one is Caught Up by Liz Tomford and the second is Play Along by Liz Tomford. So these are both stories within that series and that is the Windy City series. Caught Up follows a single father named Kai who is a baseball pitcher, MLB, and then Miller, who is Kai's coach's daughter, and she offers to babysit his son because they need a babysitter real bad, and Kai is like kind of an overprotective dad who doesn't really trust anyone with his son. So yeah, that's that set up for them. And then the second one follows Kai's brother, Isaiah. Not the second one, the fourth one in the series. Play Along follows Isaiah and Kennedy, and Isaiah is on the same MLB team as Kai. Kennedy is the athletic trainer. I think she's the athletic trainer. And in the third book, we kind of see Isaiah, how much he really enjoys her company and like being around her. So both of those books I gave 4s. I really think Liz Tomford's writing is super cute and I kind of know what to expect from her books at this point. Specifically, I really love the found family vibe in the last two that we got to see, and you get to see all of the characters from the other books kind of come together, especially in Play Along. Or Caught Up, I think, more so. So yeah, I enjoyed both. Yeah, just wanted to get those out of the way because those are the only things I read on my phone, I believe, this month. So yeah, now we're gonna go in order of how I read everything for the physical books. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 physical books here. So I actually read 8 books this month, which is really, really good for me. I started off the month super strong with Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. If you don't know, this is the second book in the Fourth Wing series called The Empyrean, and this was just amazing. I gave this 4.5 stars because it didn't give me the same feeling as the first book. However, I liked this almost a little bit more just because of the things that we see in this book. We learn so much. We get new characters, we get to learn about the old characters, and it was just so enjoyable and so fun to read. This story absolutely consumes me. It is just so interesting because I don't read a lot of fantasy, so when I do, I kind of really like fall into that world, and this was so good. But obviously I can't really give a full summary because this is the second out of, I think there's gonna be 5 books, but I loved this. This was so good. The next book I read was Father of the Rain by Lily King. This book was amazing. There was so much packed into here that affected me, and I knew it was gonna affect me just based on the title and the summary that you get. But basically this follows a young girl named Dally throughout pretty much her entire life. We start as when she's an adolescent and growing up, and she has an alcoholic father and a mother who gets divorced, and you really get the ups and downs of childhood and parenthood. And obviously we're mainly in Dally's perspective, so we get to see a lot of how addiction affects other people, especially the child in the situation. It was just really beautiful. The writing was really beautiful, and I think Lily King does a great job of writing within the age that she's supposed to be. So like Dally at the beginning is very young, and it gives a young narration. Like she's a kid that is confused and doesn't really know what's going on, and that's definitely how it feels while reading it. So this was so enjoyable. I gave this 4.25 stars. Yeah, it was super powerful, super emotional, but super frustrating at times because of what the characters are doing and saying. So do with that what you will. Okay, next, if you saw my last video, I did a reading vlog for this one, and that is Misery by Stephen King. This was very interesting to say the least. I don't even remember what I rated this. I think I gave it like a 3.75, and I couldn't really go much lower than that because of the writing style. I think Stephen King has a very amazing way of writing these stories. This genre is definitely his cup of tea. Obviously, he has a million of these books, but For this being the first horror novel that I ever read and first Stephen King book that I've ever read, I really truly enjoyed it. It was creepy and weird and so much was going on. My main critique is that it was too long. I feel like I said this in my reading vlog, but let me just give the synopsis so you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this also has a movie about it, so I'm sure a lot of people have seen the movie. But basically we are following an author named Paul, and Paul gets kidnapped by a woman named Annie Wilkes because Paul killed off a character in his novels named Misery. And she was a beloved character. She was why he was famous, and Annie was very pissed off that he killed this character and basically kidnaps him and is like, you are going to write me another book and she's going to be alive somehow and you're gonna figure it out, and if you don't, I'm gonna kill you. Annie's fucking crazy, and there was so much in this book where I kind of had to skim read because I was like, I'm not used to reading such graphic shit, and I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Like, I think I can't. If you like horror and creepy shit, then this is definitely for you. Again, I just felt like it was too long because he's a kidnapped man. There's not much that he can be doing or thinking, and a lot of it is what he's doing and thinking, and a lot of it is a little bit repetitive. So that's what I'll say, but it was still really good for the first horror book that I've ever read. Oh, this next one, guys. This book absolutely destroyed me, but also put me back together because it's Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. If you don't know, this is the third book in the Boys and Tommen series, and the first two books follow this main character, Joey, his sister, Shannon. And if you know the premise, basically Shannon and Joey live in a very, very toxic household with a very horrible father. Joey is one of the oldest kids, and it kind of all falls onto him. So this is his story with Aoife, his love interest. And I knew Aoife was a good character from the other books, but I wasn't expecting for me to get attached to her as much as I did in this book. Aoife is amazing. She is what I want to be as a woman. I fucking love her. The things she does in this book, I fear there's no character for me that compares to some of the things that she did and said in this book. She is just so amazing, and Joey as well in the same right. I knew I loved Joey from the first two books, but reading this I was like, wow, there's so much about Joey that you see in the first two books that you don't know or realize truly what's going on. And being in his head and his thoughts, it was just so heartbreaking. I almost cried several times throughout this. I know I'm gonna cry for Redeeming Six, and that's partially why I have not bought it yet. But every store has this book and then not Redeeming Six, so I just know I'm putting it off, but I'll probably get it in by the end of the year because I can't stop thinking about this. That's another reason why it's 5 stars, because I think about these characters every single day, Johnny and Shannon included. Like, I just want them to be happy. That was amazing. Definitely the peak of my month. Then I picked up Insight, Surprising Truth About How Others See Us, How We See Ourselves, and Why the Answers Matter More Than We Think by Tasha Eurich. This was gifted to me by my beautiful best friend Shelby, who has been my best friend since like 6th grade, 8th grade, something like that. And this girl has been by my side through so many things, and she saw this book and thought that it would be perfect for me, and she bought it years ago, but she has little annotations in there for me. Yeah, but this basically is a nonfiction about insight and learning yourself better and why you do the things that you do, how you can grow as a person, how you can be more self-aware, all of those things. I am still reading a bit of it, but I've gotten through the parts that like I really wanted to read, and now it's more anecdotal stuff and like examples of how you can implement this stuff, which obviously is just as important, and I will continue reading. But another fun thing is, I even tabbed it, there are the appendix back here, and I have been doing the activities in the appendix to get the most out of this book, and then I plan to go visit Shell and we can go through this together and look at everything that we underlined, highlighted, things that we thought each other needed to hear. Yeah, this has been super fun. I'm not done with it yet, and I probably won't give it a rating just because it's more of like a self-help nonfiction book, so it'd probably be a 4 regardless, because I can tell that it's already helping me think about certain things a little differently. if that makes sense. Okay, and then the last book of the month I actually finished today, a few hours ago. Also, it's Halloween. I don't know if I said that. Happy Halloween. This will probably be up tomorrow, if anything. Yeah, happy Halloween. Anywho, I just finished this today. I still had my pen attached to it. But this is Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Let me tell you, this book made me feel every emotion in the fucking world, okay? Anger, irritation, sadness, happiness, joy, all of the things. I felt it, okay? This follows Tully and Kate, who are two best friends from a street called Firefly Lane. Tully is a problematic girl. She has a rough home life, a family that doesn't really pay attention to her other than her grandparents, without giving away too much. And then Kate kind of comes from the opposite, but she still feels lonely and as if she doesn't have enough. And this really follows these girls throughout their entire life. We get to see how they became friends when they met, and then we get to see, you know, their whole life. And Tully was driving me fucking nuts. Driving me nuts in this book. Meanwhile, Kate is like my princess and I love her. Kate just put me through so much in this book. And most of it, I can't say that, but I just feel like I went through every emotion with Kate. I almost cried towards the end of this because, you know, but like it was just so emotional. And I know there's a Netflix show. There's no way I can watch the show because Tully drives me nuts. And if Tully's not annoying on the show, let me know, because then I'll watch. But I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I'm not sure how people feel about Tully. I'm gonna go look at reviews to see, because I'm so curious. But Tully was driving me nuts the whole book. So if you can handle that, you can handle this. I'm just kidding. Kristen Hanna's writing is absolutely flawless. I was literally thinking about so many of my friendships, and just, it makes you think about a lot of things in your life, for sure, especially your relationships and love and friendship and all of that shit. So I gave this a 4.25 for that reason. And if perhaps Tully, if I connected to her more, this could have been a 5, but I was too irritated by her to give it a 5. So yes. Also, this is a hefty ass book, okay? I went through so much with these characters. Felt like a lifetime. Okay guys, that is every single book I read in the month of October. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if we read any of the same books this month, and let me know what you guys think I should read next month in November. I hope you guys have an amazing Halloween, an amazing November, and that you stay safe and have a lot of fun. Yeah, I filmed a book tag a few days ago and my computer will not let me edit it. So hopefully this will be up soon. It will be. I'm gonna make it work, so don't you worry. That's all I have for you guys today. I truly hope that you enjoyed, and I love each and every one of you very, very much. Bye.